Welcome to the spoken tutorial on the importance of insulin. In this tutorial, we will learn about secretion of insulin from the pancreas, role of insulin in the body. Insulin is an important hormone. Hormones are secreted directly in the blood. They are carried to various tissues and organs where they exert their functions. Insulin is secreted by the pancreas. Pancreas is an organ located behind the stomach. The pancreas is made up of glands which secretes various enzymes and hormones. Now, we will focus on insulin's release and the factors which affect it. There are several factors which stimulate the release of insulin. The most important factor is the level of glucose in the blood. Remember that glucose level increases on eating food. Presence of food in the intestine causes a release of various gut hormones. This also affects the release of insulin. Food contains three main macronutrients: carbohydrates, protein, and fats. Insulin's response to different foods varies. Carbohydrate-rich foods raise blood glucose levels quickly. As a result, large amounts of insulin are secreted. Examples of carbohydrate-rich foods are bread, chapati, potatoes and fruits. Sweets, grains, and even vegetables are some other examples. Sugar, jaggery, and honey are also included. The release of insulin in response to protein-rich foods is slightly low. Examples of protein-rich foods are eggs, meat, fish. Fat has the least effect on stimulating the release of insulin. Fat-rich foods include ghee, oil, butter, etc. Insulin is released in two phases. It is either in the basal rate or in the peak rate. Insulin is released continuously in small amounts even when no food is consumed. This is the basal rate. When food is consumed, insulin is released in high amounts. This is known as the peak rate. After learning about insulin's secretion, let us understand its role in the body. Insulin promotes the uptake of glucose into the cells. This is the most well-known role of insulin. Insulin acts like a key to open the cells. The cells then take up glucose from the blood. This glucose is used by the cells mainly for producing energy. When we eat food, we are in a fed state. The body uses glucose as a fuel to provide energy. Let us see what happens if we consume extra glucose. In the liver, the excess glucose gets converted to glycogen and triglycerides. Glycogen is the concentrated form of glucose. It gets stored in the liver and the muscles. Triglycerides are the stored fats in our body. These stores can be used later when we are not consuming food. Not consuming food is the non-fed state. A fresh supply of glucose is not available during this state. This is when the body uses glycogen and fat as a fuel to supply energy. The body breaks down glycogen into glucose. This is required for our brain, which needs glucose as a fuel. Other non-carbohydrate sources are also converted to glucose. For example, amino acids, lactate, glycerol. This conversion occurs mainly in the liver and kidneys. However, the conversion is inhibited by insulin. Among the various roles of insulin, the most crucial is managing energy. In the fed state, insulin promotes the storage of energy. It does this by promoting conversion of excess glucose into fat. The breakdown and conversion of fat is suppressed. Thus, insulin prevents the loss of fat in the body. This way, a person will not be able to use or melt the stored fat in the body. In the non-fed state, lack of insulin promotes the utilization of fat. The stored fats are broken down to provide energy. There is another hormone that helps insulin to maintain the blood sugar level. It is the glucagon hormone secreted by the pancreas. Let us see how insulin along with glucagon maintains the blood glucose level. When blood sugar level rises, the pancreas releases insulin. Insulin takes up glucose from the blood into the cells. It then promotes the formation of glycogen and triglycerides in the liver. Blood glucose then returns to normal level. When blood sugar levels are low, the pancreas releases glucagon. Glucagon promotes the breakdown of glycogen into glucose in the liver. This releases glucose in the blood. As a result, blood sugar then returns to normal level. This is how insulin and glucagon complement each other. Insulin acts as an anabolic hormone as well, which means it promotes the growth of the cells and tissues. It also helps in bone development and formation. Another role of insulin is to manage the potassium levels in the body. Insulin promotes the entry of potassium into the cells. Potassium is an important mineral for the body. It is involved in muscle contractions, heart functions, and fluid balance. These beneficial roles of insulin are seen when it is present in normal level. Fasting insulin in healthy individuals should be between 2 to 5 MIU/ml. MIU/ml stands for milli-international units per milliliters. High levels of insulin in the blood creates a lot of health issues. This will be discussed in detail in another tutorial. Remember the reasons mentioned in this tutorial to maintain insulin level. Maintain the level within the normal range. It will help you to have a healthy body. This brings us to the end of the tutorial. Thank you for joining.